sit up? Okay. All right. So let's recite an invocation. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayet nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtikhi Om Ajnanaatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanyam Bhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Scha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastite Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Prabhupada Priya Shri Girirajaya Swamine Sivakta Shastra Vidyaya Didida Sadhana Shaline Radharas Biharidhyam Bhaktivyas Chakmadayine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatyadeshatarine Mukham karoti vachalam panghum langayate girim yatripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam. Just have to fix this. Mamta Mai, can you just fix this properly? The stand is not, it might ask you. Lift it. All right, proper balance. Okay, so I thought it was raining, nobody will come.
Yeah, the way it was, I turned to again it stopped. No, actually that is the reason why I double checked if the class is there or not. Somehow after checking that it stopped, so I said, "Hello."
All right, so we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 29. We are in text 78. So this is such an amazing description of the nature of the mind and the transmigration of the soul. Now this is the conclusion. We'll complete this chapter and we'll start the next chapter. Together. Yadakshas-charitan dhyayam karmanya chinute sakrit sati karmanya vidyayam bandha karmanya natmanaha. Yeah, you can read.
Translation.
Just pass it.
Translation. As long as we desire to enjoy sense gratification, we create material activities. When the living entity acts in the material field, he enjoys the senses. And while enjoying the senses, he creates another series of material activities. In this way, the living entity becomes entrapped as a conditioned soul. Purport. While in the subtle body, we create many plans to enjoy sense gratification. These plans are recorded in the spool of one's mind as bija, the root of fruitive activities. In conditioned life, the living entity creates a series of bodies one after another, and this is called karma bandhana. As explained in Bhagavad Gita, yagnarthat karmano nyatra loko yam karma bandhanah. If we act only for the satisfaction of Vishnu, there is no bondage due to material activity. But if we act otherwise, we become entrapped by one material activity after another. Under these circumstances, it is to be supposed that by thinking, feeling, and willing, we are creating a series of future material bodies. In the words of Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Anadi karma phale padi bhavar navajale. The living entity falls into the ocean of karma bandhana as a result of past material activities. Instead of plunging oneself into the ocean of material activity, one should accept material body only to maintain body and soul to activity. Only to maintain body and soul together. The rest of one's time should be devoted to engaging in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. In this way, one can attain relief from the reactions of material activity.
Okay, so now, remember, see what Prabhupada is saying. While in the subtle body, we create many plans to enjoy sense gratification. These plans are recorded where? The spool. Spool. What does spool mean? Spool of the mind. What is spool? This is photography, right? Right? Previously there was that photography. You remember that the image? All right. So each and everything that okay, now in Facebook they say reel, right? It's spool. Prabhupada's time was spool. Yeah, so it has that photography, that photo film, right? A film, right? So whatever you're thinking, it gets recorded there. Just you click the picture, like I don't know, maybe 24 or 40, I don't know how many was there, right? In that spool, right? Each and every desire, everything. We create many plans to enjoy sense gratification. So these plans, right? Meaning that we should not let the plan get recorded. Right? So unless we click the picture, it doesn't get recorded, right? So maybe something is coming in the mind, it should just be let go. Alright? This is secret. So thoughts come. Where do you hear this? What I just said? Thoughts come and we let go of it. Where is this instruction given? Alright, we've come to 10 to 4. Where is this instruction given? 10-15 years we are studying, right? From Bhagavad Gita, right? What's Krishna's instruction in Bhagavad Gita?
We focus, mind thinks of some sense objects, that is that the verse?
Yeah.
Calm and
No. I think maybe chapter 6, right? Meaning the thoughts are coming like waves in the ocean, right?
Yes,
Right?
yes, it is there.
A leader person does not get disturbed by the...
He just like so somebody who is fixed. So the thoughts are coming. They come and just let them go. All right? Because we are in the material world. Material world means sense gratification. Whether you like it or not, just like you see a banana, you want to eat. All right? Whether you're hungry or not, just seeing the banana or the mango. All right? You're not hungry, but just seeing that mango and getting the flavor, that aroma, right? You feel like eating when actually there's no space in the stomach. All right? So like that, so many thoughts are coming. Because body means enjoyment. And it's not real. The body is actually not real. So this is a very good hint given to us. So as long as we desire to enjoy sense gratification, we create material activities, meaning that our thoughts should not get expressed as words and actions, yes, as activities.
Thinking, feeling and willing. Thoughts will come, but we should not let it go in willing and
Yes.
feeling and willing.
All right. So these are practical tips given here about how a yogi should live in this material world. Are we all yogis here? All right. Okay. Bhakti yogis, right? We are not asana ascetics. All right. We are not that type of, but we are bhakti yogis. True, Shashi?
Yes.
All right. So we have taken a path. So the challenge will be thrown to us by material nature. Because if we have a material body and the world is meant for sense gratification only, so what do you expect? All the sense objects are going to throw their temptation, the image on us. But being a self-realized person, I should not fall prey to those sense objects. So as long as we desire, so where's the problem? The sense objects are there, but where's the problem?
My desire.
Desire, yes. The desire to enjoy that object. All right? So it's not that the banana or this mango is going to cease to exist just because you are upset. Why is it there? Pet bhar gaya, fir I want to put one more, right? You can't get upset at the object of the senses. But what we have to do is to check the desire. As long as we desire to enjoy sense gratification, we create material activities, then we start running towards it, When the living entity acts in the material field, he enjoys the senses, and while enjoying the senses, he creates another series of material activities. So what happened? Overeating. I'm just giving one example, right? You do not have the means to enjoy something, all right? But still you run after it, all right? I mean, for me, just this crazy thing about children's education. A parent cannot afford, he's not born with a silver spoon like most people, right? No, like some people, not most people, some people, right? But here we are, we want to do what we call children's education, right? So they will start, and India is not sufficient, or wherever you live is not sufficient, you have to send abroad, all right? Now you live in India, and in Indian rupees you have to pay for, fees in euro or in dollars, right? And what you have to do here, you have to mortgage your house, right? Excess desire, all right? When the living entity acts in the material field, he enjoys the sense. So why he's thinking, my child should have a name. He's coming from America. He has studied in America, right? He get a name. I don't know why they do it. Anyway,
The brand.
a brand, huh?
Harvard.
So in order to get this wish fulfilled, he creates another series of material activities, right? Now he mortgages his house, or he has to work, plus his wife also has to work, and double salary, double whatever income, right? Everything. And then I fall sick, she falls sick, and then we are not able to pay the mortgage, then we have to, I don't know what things happen from debts, all right? So he creates another series of material activities. In this way, the living entity becomes entrapped as a conditioned soul. I gave a more dangerous example. I just heard, I don't know who was giving class. If you borrow money from somebody, all right, and you don't manage to pay, right?
Take a birth again to be.
You're carried over, all right? So in this way, the living entity becomes entrapped as a conditioned soul. Now, when you take birth again, you don't know in what condition you will take birth. You don't know in what condition the other person takes birth. But one thing I've heard, sometimes you get such a disease that all your money goes. It just goes. Somebody told me this. You don't know why this 5-year-old child has such a disease that you as a person, you are finishing off all your wealth. In this way, the living entity becomes entrapped. So you understand now the word entrapped? Over excess desire. Because of that little excess desire, not only are you finished in this lifetime, but your next lifetime also, if you don't complete, carry forward. Debts are carried forward. Similarly, desires are carried forward. All right? How is it carried forward? Prabhupada is explaining here. How is it carried forward? Yeah, and what example Prabhupada is giving? It gets recorded in what? The spool, right? And my point was that before it gets recorded in the spool of the mind, what should we do?
Let the thought go.
Let go of the thought, yes, I wish my son or my daughter, I'm just giving an example. I wish my son and daughter, we just go and be heroine, somewhere, right? Say, look, my pocket is empty, right? Better we live within what has been given to me. I spend what I have. I don't spend what I don't have. All right?
Spend what I have. Yes.
All right? But I'm teaching here. I'm teaching now. I'm not teaching,
The schools, they teach such lot of things to the children, and they do just dekha-dekhi.
Yes, it's
Just
called peer
dekha-dekhi, young children, all they should be taught in the schools.
Anyway, Prabhupada is teaching in his school, so we are learning, right?
No one is ready to listen to us in the house.
Yeah, so this is his school here, all of us, 5 of us. In conditional life, the living entity creates a series of bodies one after another. And this is called karma bandhan. So therefore, what should we do now? This desire for sense gratification, for increase and increase of sense gratification cannot be cut. There is only one method that we can cut it. What is the method? In your book.
Use our time in engaging and transcendent.
Yeah?
One should accept material activity with me to maintain the soul in the body.
Rest of the time is the transcendental.
We are on 78.
Text 78.
In chapter 29, text 78, purport. Here Prabhupada is saying that only if you have decided to serve Vishnu, only then you are able to curtail those desires. Alright? So it's not that like we become devotees and it's a magic pill, you know, maybe you swallow a pill and you become transcendental and immune to all sense objects. No. It's not like this, but you have dedicated your life, you've dedicated your activities for the satisfaction of Vishnu. Alright? So because we are determined to serve Vishnu, yagyartat karmano nyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. Alright, see, this is very basic what we are reading here. This is from Bhagavad Gita chapter 3, text 9 or 10, right? 8, 9, 10, this section. Or, oh yeah, text 9, Prabhupada is given. So this is basic, but has to be reminded again and again. So each and every activity has to be for Vishnu. If we don't do this, then what will happen? By thinking, dhyayato vishayan pumsam, right? You go on contemplating. Now we are speaking that remove it from your thoughts before it sits and your mind clicks a picture and then make it sit in your heart as a beach. Because if it sits in the heart as a beach, it's bound to what?
Fructify.
Yeah, it will sprout. It will sprout. Alright, so we have the outer mind, image came, and then there is the inner mind, chitta, right? We call it the chitta, the consciousness, chitta. So if it came in the mind, don't let it go in and sink, because you will start doing something. Alright. Secret of living in this material world peacefully without running after sense gratification. Don't think too much about it. Under these circumstances, it is supposed that by thinking, feeling and willing, we are creating a series of future material bodies. So our problem is that we are not afraid of the next body. That's our problem.
You are not afraid of?
Next body. Right? It's okay, you know, we are just satisfied, happy that we don't die, right?
Yeah, as long as they are comfortable and happy.
Yeah, you know, we are, it's okay now if I hear, you know, the soul never dies. I'm happy, meaning I'm going to continue next life, I will continue, I have a desire now, I will continue next life. I wanted to be Miss World now, it failed, next life, you know, carry forward, bound and going to happen someday or the other. Hope, one day it will happen, right? So aram se, right? It's okay, no problem. So this is the misfortune of the soul. You know, like when they get married, 7 lives, they're going to live together, right? Right? You're happy, 7 life, you're going to live together, I hope. I don't know whether it stands now or not, but at one point it was like this. So we are creating a series of future material bodies. But Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, he falls into the ocean of karma bandhan. Karma bandhan meaning trapped in this bondage. So instead, Prabhupada, what is the solution here? What Prabhupada says, now, if we have already contacted the disease. The disease is manifested as what? The soul, material activity and the material body. The symptom that we have contacted the disease is that we have a material body. All right. So how should we live now? I've got it's on me now. The body is with me now. What should we do?
You should engage in, you should accept material activity only to maintain the soul. Only as much as you need it.
Yes. You have first canto with you, right?
No, but you have this analogy.
Yeah. Can you find that verse?
Me.
Yes. It should be in chapter 2. Should be in chapter 2 where who's speaking? Sutta Goswami, right? That life, like we should only live, dharma should be used only, not for sense gratification.
It's 10th verse. Is it 10th verse?
Sorry, I don't know, just find out.
It's very famous verse.
Yes.
Life desire should never be directed towards sense gratification. One should desire only a healthy life or self-preservation. Since a human being is meant for inquiry about the absolute truth.
All right. Okay, she found it.
That's the verse.
Which one?
10. Nothing else should be the goal of one's life.
Okay. See, Prabhupada, whatever he's writing, remember it is only collection from other texts. Yeah. From Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and everywhere else. That's how Prabhupada is writing.
This is the shloka. Kamasya mendriya priti prabhu chidate jivasya tattva vijnana cheva karma.
Yes. All right. So one should accept material activity only to maintain body and soul together. The rest of one's time should be devoted to engaging in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So, how much time will I spend only in cooking and cleaning and eating and shopping, right? Anyway, the women, that's usually what they do. And then the man go out to work. If he works more than 8 hours, he's wasting his life, right? Right? If he works more than 8 hours. Yeah, that's our misfortune, right? So 12 hours, the rest out of the house.
Actually, Bombay definitely.
The slums of Bombay, right? So that's why Prabhupada explained that you work where you live. You just step out of your house, you got a plot of land, right? You work where you live. Lucky of those who work where they live, in that area. Now you take an airplane to go to work, right?
Yeah, chopper.
They go in the morning, come back in the night.
Yes, yeah. Previously, that was, only Prabhupada spoke about it, I don't know, in the 60s, 70s. Now I'm seeing it coming to India also, right?
Very soon we might have that.
It is already happening. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You take an airplane, right, to go to work. You fly
All
up.
the terraces will be a helipad.
That will also happen.
So the rest of one's life, so if you waste your time like this, all right, just to earn your 2 chapati, 1 bowl of dal, 1 bowl of sabji, right?
I think actually that is also sense gratification. Those who love to travel, they only get these such types of jobs where they travel and they are. Otherwise, just for food, nobody will do so much.
Okay, so now you're saying it. Who are those who opt for those jobs? Those who like to travel, all right? Who like to stay away from the family.
Yeah, the sales, they make them because they are the face. Sales,
Anyway,
they make the maximum salary.
sometimes they are like, yeah, I guess finally, like what you are saying, that it's our choice. Finally, this is what you are saying. And sometimes what happens, you start off innocent. All right?
Yes.
You actually start off innocent and then you get trapped. This is what's saying here. You start an activity, you didn't know that you will, like that silkworm, right? You see that silkworm that gets caught in its own cocoon, right? So that happens also. And you didn't know that's going to be, just like now we have, so many devotees who are always flying, right? And I remember this is my doctor. So actually I brought one devotee and then she told me how much the airline crews, how much they suffer. How much they suffer. And when they come off, their work, from the airline, their life is completely miserable. There are many diseases that harass them. And one of them can be, too much flying, their mind, Vat. Because the mind gets affected by that Vat, right? They don't know what is day, what is night. Constantly they are working. So they didn't know that's going to be the outcome of their work, right? They really didn't know. Text 79. So we have gone into depth to discuss this one verse. Now we are going to run through the others fast. All right? 79. Atastad apavardhartam bhajas atmanam hari pashyamstad atmakam vishvam sthityutpatyapyayayataha. Yes, so
You should always know that this cosmic manifestation is created. Translation. You should always know that this cosmic manifestation is created, maintained, and annihilated by the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Consequently, everything within this cosmic manifestation is under the control of the Lord. To be enlightened by this perfect knowledge, one should always engage himself in the devotional service of the Lord. Purport. Self-realization, understanding oneself as Brahman or spirit soul is very difficult in the material condition. However, if we accept the devotional service of the Lord will gradually reveal himself. In this way, the progressive devotee will gradually realize his spiritual position. We cannot see anything in the darkness of night, not even our own selves. But when there is sunshine, we can see not only the sun, but everything within the world as well. Lord Krishna explains in the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita 7.1, Mai ashakta manha partha yogam yunjan mad ashreya asamsaya samagram mam yatha jnanasi tak shranu. Now hear, O son of Pratha, Arjun, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. When we engage ourselves in the devotional service of the Lord to become Krishna conscious, we understand not only Krishna, but everything related to Krishna. In other words, through Krishna consciousness, we can understand not only Krishna and the cosmic manifestation, but also our constitutional position. In Krishna consciousness, we can understand that the entire material creation is created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, maintained by Him, annihilated by Him, and absorbed in Him. We are also part and parcel of the Lord. Everything is under the control of the Lord, and therefore Our only duty is to surrender unto the Supreme and engage in His transcendental loving service.
If we accept the devotional service of the Lord, what will be the effect?
Not only understand Him, but everything related.
What will be the effect? How are we going to understand Him? Yes. Remember, we spoke about this last week. Whatever you do, it doesn't mean that you'll get the result. Krishna has to reveal Himself. Alright. So, however, if we accept the devotional service of the Lord will, just like this, He will reveal. How? Gradually. Ye yatha. Okay, alright, see, everything has a quotation somewhere, right? Krishna's own words. According to how we are surrendering, Krishna will reveal Himself. Oh my God, another word. In this way, what type of devotee is it? Progressive. What does it mean? What's the meaning of progressive?
One who is consistently practicing.
Yes, who is practicing. Progressive, alright? He's progressing on the path, right? Everybody wants to know what's the progress. We're interested in this. Yes. Mark ourselves, right? Am I going up or am I going down? I just heard a super lovely lecture by His Holiness Kadamba Kanana Maharaj in UK. It's super, somebody who is like maybe changing body, somebody of his caliber, surely, back to Krishna, right? But he just gave a super lecture about how this devotee, who has the characteristic of Putana, right? Say that devotion mixed with poison. Alright? Super example he gave. So, meaning that we are devotee, we are progressing, but sometimes what do? Some poison comes in our devotional service. We commit some sinful activity, right? We were really, on the path. We came with all good intention. We are moving on the path and then we don't know what may happen. Sinful thoughts or actually engaging in some sinful activity. Right. So self-realization, understanding oneself as Brahman or spirit soul is very difficult in the material condition. Right? This is what he's saying. I read it again. Self-realization, understanding oneself as Brahman or spirit soul is very difficult in the material condition, because if you are in the material condition, you identify with the sense objects. You identify yourself as the body and you identify the sense objects as yours. So therefore, self-realization, knowing that we are Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi, is very difficult. So how will it ever happen? Yeah, we must engage in devotional service. All right. Yes, so this is a progressive devotee. So we cannot see anything in the darkness of night. We can't even see ourselves. So only when Krishna reveals Himself, then we can see ourselves and the world. Okay, so three things we understand here. If we engage in devotional service, we can understand not only Krishna and the cosmic manifestation, but we can also understand our own constitutional position. So the verse is saying you should always know that this cosmic manifestation is created, maintained and annihilated by the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Consequently, everything within this cosmic manifestation is under the control of the Lord. To be enlightened, all right? To be enlightened. Can we find the word? Pashyan, okay? Pashyamstad Atmakam Vishvam. To be enlightened by this perfect knowledge, one should always engage himself in the devotional service of the Lord. In order for us to be, what's the meaning of Pashyam? Have you found this word anywhere else? This is a very famous and common word. Used where? Yes, many times. Yeah, Pashyati, right? Everywhere in Bhagavad Gita. In relationship to who? In relationship to who?
A self-realized soul sees.
Yes, the vision of the self-realized soul. What is self-realized? What do you see? All right? Like right now we are seeing only me and sense gratification. Somebody who's Pashyati, what is he seeing? He is seeing what is this material world in its true light. When Maya is attacking, he can see this is Maya. Right? Somebody who's in darkness is simply engulfed by Maya. He doesn't even know he has fallen under the grip of Maya. Right? Whereas a progressive devotee can see this is Maya. Pashyati, alright? So Pashyamstad Atmakam Vishvam. So he can see the whole world. To be enlightened by this perfect knowledge. What is that perfect knowledge? What is perfect? Krishna is supreme, then? Yeah, and it's not me, right? I just heard Prabhupada saying that in this world nobody wants to serve. Nobody wants to serve in this world. Everybody wants to be served. All right? See, this is one beautiful thing that I saw when I came to India. Is that I saw how the women are willing to serve. This is one thing that I saw. They are willing to serve. That service mood and attitude is so much ingrained in them to serve. Of course, when they start going to work, then it becomes different. Then you're competing to become the boss. But otherwise, I saw such a lovely service attitude. And then among the devotees, this is like the culture again that I saw. They will ask, what can I do for you? Right? How can I serve you? Right? You hear this among the devotees, they say like this. But it should not just be lip service now. Right? Just because it's the culture. So here, to see the things in proper perspective, right? That the world belongs to Krishna and that we are only nothing actually. We are nothing. We are not the controllers. We are under the grip of material nature. Everything is under the control of the Lord, and therefore our only duty is to surrender unto the Supreme and engage in His transcendental loving service. Text 80. मैत्रेय उवाच भगवन्मुख्यो भगवान् नारदो हंसयोर्गतिं प्रदर्श्य ह्यमुम् आमन्त्र्य सिद्धलोकं ततो गमात्.
Translation. The great sage Maitreya continued, the supreme devotee, the great saint Narada, thus explained to King Prachina Barahi the constitutional position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the living entity. After giving an invitation to the king, Narad Muni left to return to Siddhalok. Purport. Siddhalok and Brahmalok are both within the same planetary system. Brahmalok is understood to be the highest planet within this universe. Siddhalok is considered to be one of the satellites of Brahmalok. The inhabitants of Siddhalok have all the powers of yogic mysticism. From this verse it appears that the great sage Narada is an inhabitant of Siddhalok, although he travels to all the planetary systems. All the residents of Siddhalok are spacemen, and they can travel in space without mechanical help. The residents of Siddhalok can go from one planet to another individually by virtue of the yogic perfection. After giving instructions to the great king Prachina Barahi, Narad Muni departed and also invited him to Siddhalok.
Okay, so now this is other planetary system, what's going on there, right?
See, Prabhupada uses a very nice phrase, word. How he called Narad Muni? Spaceman, right? It's very appealing, right? Spaceman, like we have those Star Trekkers, all those science fiction, right? So they read Bhagavatam and they made their movie. So earlier we had heard of Siddhalok also, and that has been described as beyond the material world. And now here this Siddhalok is within its satellite of Brahmalok. Alright, I don't understand all that, but anyway, satellite. Brahmalok is understood to be the highest planet within this universe. And Siddhalok is considered to be one of the meaning that it's connected with Brahmalok.
So Mataji, Narad Muni, his body is spiritual, right?
Yes. Yes.
He lives in this material world.
Yeah, he's
He
free.
can travel anywhere. He can
Yeah.
go to
Yes. He travels everywhere with so many stories, right? What he does, all his
Sometimes
activities.
he's in this and sometimes he's in that.
Yes, not bound. Not bound. Yeah,
somewhere in first canto, somewhere it is mentioned that when the annihilation takes place, even Narad Muni gets absorbed in the body of Mahavishnu. And then again when the creation begins, he appears.
I can't remember this.
I just
Huh?
wondered, because I had a question at that time,
Okay.
how come if his body is spiritual, then why doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. No, but Narad Muni is always with Narayan, right? He's the messenger. Right? He's the messenger. Remember, he was the best son of who? Yes, the best son of Brahma. And he was born to teach Bhakti Yoga. So even though so many sages took birth, so many Rishi Munis, so many creation came from the body of Lord Brahma, even Manu came and Satarupa, right? Manu and man and woman, right? They also were born. But Narad Muni is said to be the best son of Lord Brahma. Why? What's the name of his name means? Who gives? Who gives?
Narayan to us.
Who gives Narayan? Narada means who gives Narayan. This is the meaning of Narad. You know, there are many things that happens in this creation, you know. So very mysterious, you know, like just like I said, you know, before, Siddhaloka somewhere it was mentioned, right? Somewhere we read about Siddhaloka. Oh, that was in Chaitanya Charitamrita about Siddhaloka, right? And here this is, here is Siddhaloka.
Is a part of the Vaikuntha.
Where? Yeah. Oh, we read it?
6 or 10 verses.
That's why I'm thinking we read about this. Yeah, and good Priya is here, she reminded us. Yeah, I remember Siddhalok somewhere, which is part of Vaikuntha. Or outside Vaikuntha, something like that anyway. Too much information. So let us find our place somewhere, right? Now text 81. Prachina barhi rajarshi praja sangarbhirakshane adishya putran agamat tapasya kapilashramam. Now let us see what I think Prachina Barhishat is going to do. Priya?
Translation by His Grace Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. In the presence of his ministers, the saintly king Prachinabarhi left orders for his sons to protect the citizens. He then left home and went off to undergo austerities in a holy place known as Kapila Ashram. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The word Prajasarga is very important in this verse. When the saintly king Prachinabarhi was induced by the great sage Narada to leave home and take to the devotional service of the Lord, his sons had not yet returned from their austerities in the water. However, he did not wait for their return but simply left messages to the effect that his sons were to protect the mass of citizens. According to Veera Raghava Acharya, such protection means organizing the citizens into the specific divisions of the 4 Varnas and the 4 Ashrams. It was the responsibility of the royal order to see that the citizens were following the regulative principles of the 4 Varnas, namely Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, and the Ashramas, namely Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyas. It is very difficult to rule citizens in a kingdom without organizing this Varna Ashram Dharma. To rule the mass of citizens in a state and keep them in a complete progressive order is not possible simply by passing laws every year in a legislative assembly. The Varnashrama Dharma is essential in a good government. One class of men, the Brahmanas, must be intelligent and Brahmanically qualified. Another class must be trained in administrative work, Kshatriya. Another in mercantile business, Vaishya, and another simply in labor, Shudra. These 4 classes of men are already there according to nature, but it is the government's duty to see that all 4 of these classes follow the principles of their Varnas methodically. This is called Abhirakshana, or protection. It is significant that when Maharaja Prachinabarhi was convinced of the goal of life through the instructions of Narada, he did not wait even a moment to see his sons return, but left immediately. There were many things to be done upon the return of his sons, but he simply left them a message. He knew what his prime duty was. He simply left instructions for his sons and went off for the purpose of spiritual advancement. This is the system of Vedic civilization. Sridhara Swami informs us that Kapila Ashram is located at the confluence of the Ganges and at the Bay of Bengal, a place known now as Ganga Sagara. This place is still famous as a place of pilgrimage, and many millions of people gather there every year on the day of Makar Sankranti and take bath. It is called Kapila Ashrama because of Lord Kapila's living there to perform his austerities and penances. Lord Kapila propounded the Sankhya system of philosophy.
Okay, so there are few section in this. So, what is the first point in this purport?
What does actual protection mean by the Kshatriya?
What is the first point? No, you should read properly.
Or
He left his son.
One must
What he did? What's the first point?
He left his son immediately on getting the instructions.
Muni asked him to leave, he left immediately without
Yes. This is the first point, alright? So you have to read properly the purport. The first point is that he has heard, right? Many chapters he heard. Many months we've been studying this, right? What he heard. So after hearing so long, right? Again and again Narad Muni is pushing the point. Finally he got convinced. Alright? Finally he got convinced, and what did he do? He left. He left without
Waiting for his son.
waiting for the sons to come back. Where are the sons?
They had gone for some Australia.
Yeah. Yes, they met. Yes, they met. Yeah, beautiful young boys, right? So Lord Shiva saw them and was so pleased. Say these boys are of good quality. So he was ready to give knowledge. So he told them, worship Vasudev. That was the gist of his instruction. So now, King Prachina Barhi, he also got convinced by Narad Muni. Remember, Lord Shiva was giving instructions to the Prachetas. And Narad Muni said, what about the father? Is he going to rot in this material world? Only doing, karma kandiya stuff to go to heaven and come back up and down again? Right? He said, no. He should also get enlightenment. So he became detached after hearing the whole story of King Puranjan. Right?
I think with this point, in today's time also we see many people when they hear, they just want to leave everything.
Yes.
So how
Temporary. Yeah, it's called Shamshana Vairagya. When somebody dies, you become Vairagi, and then again you say, okay, time is over, right? It takes 13 days before you get back to your normal life, right? Yeah, so therefore, hearing has to be Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya, right? Not occasional. Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya. I don't know how long Narad Muni stayed with this king. He really pushed the point, right? Yeah, so he got convinced, yes. So he was induced. See what word Prabhupada is using here. What is the meaning of induced?
Made to act upon.
Oh God, you're looking in dictionary? No.
I'll check.
You checked.
To make or persuade somebody to do something.
Persuade. He uses persuade.
Anyway, she's studied science, right? What is the meaning of induction? In science, you learn this, like if there is a magnet, all right? It magnetizes an element that is also has magnetic properties, like iron, right? Copper, right? So it make the other element also become like a magnet.
The process of introducing somebody to a new skill.
So I've given the example of the magnet, all right? Meaning that the king, yeah, correct, right? Same qualities. Induce, it's really interesting. I just look at the sentence and I saw the word. Was induced, meaning that he had no intention to do it. Sangha, therefore, is very important. Right? We develop bad habits because we are induced by others to do what they do. Right? So now here the king, he was induced by a great sage, so that was his good luck. He was induced by a great, meaning that the Narad Muni was very powerful. Remember that King Prachinabar, he said, what you are telling me my acharyas never told me, right? He said that. He was resisting. He said, but you are telling, but my acharyas never told me this, right? So then Narad Muni had to get, and he asked the question, how can you say that what we are doing now, when we have a different body, that body we're experiencing the activities of the present body, right? That's how Narad Muni went into the whole science of transmigration of the soul. Remember? Oh, we forgot, right? So this is the end of this chapter. So then the king said, yes, it's true. What you are saying is true. So he was induced to leave home and take to devotional service. Then the second point is what you all said. So what was the second point?
Protection of the citizen, it means maintaining the varnashram system.
Yes. So mean. Yes. Praja. Where is it? Praja Sarga. Like we are all citizens, right? We belong to the masses. All of us. Anybody here who is Raja? Who's controlling others? We are dependent, right? We are dependent on what? We are dependent on the government. All right. So, according to Veera Raghav Acharya, such protection means organizing the citizens into the specific divisions of the 4 varnas and 4 ashramas. Why is it important? Prabhupada is saying you cannot run a country unless you organize them in those 4 divisions. Why?
So that they are disciplined, they are regulated. Otherwise they might not follow the instructions of the king properly because they really don't know what they have to follow.
Because they are made by Lord Krishna, so they are already there, but they are not following. Chaturvarna Maya.
Yes.
So they also make progress, spiritual progress. So varnashram is so that they also make spiritual progress.
Yes.
Follow their duties and then
Yes.
the Supreme Lord by doing their duties.
Yes. And you don't have to fly off to work and come back flying back,
Yeah,
right?
it's not regulated, it's very obvious.
Right.
They know what they have to do.
Isn't it? Why all this is happening? Right? When there is land everywhere, just see this ridiculous thing. What is the cost of one room in Bombay? Right? Right? Is there no land outside of Bombay that you can build a house in a few lakh? No, I'm just asking. Is there no land? Right? So this is what happens when there is no varnashram dharma. And all the poor people of Bombay and their children also get caught in the same thing. You really have to sit and work to earn your whole life, right? To buy one small room. Right? Not to see that there is food everywhere. Yeah. Hare Krishna. You sit, just sit. Come sit. Sorry? Yeah, that's okay. Sit down. Yeah. Just sit. Sit here. So, anyway, we have already discussed at great length about Varnashram Dharma when we were discussing which section of this 4th canto. Which section of the 4th canto? At great length. We spoke about Varnashram Dharma. King Prithu, the ideal monarch. King Prithu. Okay. Now, so the king, Maharaj Prachinabarhi, So he went to Kapila Ashram. So do you know where it is? Kapila Ashram? Ganga Sagar? Because that's where he went. Yeah, the king, he went off, he left home and went off to undergo austerities in a holy place known as Kapila Ashram. Tapase Kapila Ashramam. So he went there to do austerities. What austerity do you think he did? Anyway, let's read the next 82. Tatra ekagra manadhiro govinda charanambujam vimukta sango nubhajan bhaktya tad samyatamagat. Okay, Anita, let's send this to her.
Hare Krishna. Translation. Having undergone austerities and penances as Kapila Ashram, King Bharvi attained full liberation from all material designation. He constantly engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord and attained a spiritual position collectively equal to that of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. There is special significance in the word Tat Samayatama Atma Agat. The king attained the position of possessing the same status or the same forms as the of the Lord. That definitely proves that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is always a person. In his impersonal feature, he is the rays of his transcendental body. When a living entity attains spiritual perfection, he also attains the same type of body known as Sachidananda Vigraha. This spiritual body never mixes with the material elements. Although in conditioned life the living entity is surrounded by material elements: earth, water, fire, air, sky, mind, intelligence, and ego. He remains aloof from them. In the other words, the living entities can be liberated from the material condition at any moment, provided that he wishes to do so. The material environment is called Maya according to Krishna. Deve he esa gunha mai mama mae dhurataya mama eva he prapade mayam etam taranti te. This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Bhagavatam 7.14. Bhagavad Gita 7.14. As soon as a living entity engages in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, he immediately attains freedom from all material conditions. Sa guna samate brahman bhuyate kalpate. In the material state of the living entity is one, the Jiva Bhuta platform, but when he renders devotional service to the Lord, he is elevated to the Brahma Bhuta platform. On the Brahma Bhuta platform, the living entity is liberated from material bondage, and he engaged in the service of the Lord. In this verse, the word Dhiraj is sometimes read as Vira. Actually, Vira. Actually, there is not very much differences. The word Dhira means sober, and Viras means hero. One who is struggling against Maya is a hero, and one who is sober enough to understand this position is Dhiraj. Without becoming sober or heroic, one cannot attain spiritual salvation.
Who can cross ocean of Maya? Specifically here? Who is a hero? Alright. Who can cross over this ocean of material world? He is a veer. Right? He's a hero. And who's that hero? How does he do it? What method? By becoming dhira. Alright? What is this dhira? So, yes, so it's dhira. And now what is this dependent upon? To become dhira, what is it dependent upon?
Understanding our position, constitutional position, and understanding that Krishna is the controller
Yeah.
not me.
How, when will he understand and how will he understand? When will he understand? Prabhupada is saying this. When will he understand? He just struggles. When will he understand? When he wishes. When he wishes. Alright? Alright.
From the material condition at any
This is the most horrible thing, right? If you don't want, then you can't. If you want, you will get. Alright? Yeah, you can put on the lights. Yeah, so when you desire, you want, then you'll be able to cross over. When you don't want, then who will take you across? Right? Like they say, we can pull the horse to the lake, right? You can't make him drink. So you're pulling, right? So meaning you have to put your mouth in and drink. Or we'll put a gun, say chant Hare Krishna or do devotional service, right? When you wish. So that person who desires to render service is a dhira and he becomes a hero, veer. What is his heroship? He wins over Maya. Alright, Maya is pulling and he wins over Maya. So here the king is doing this. See, he was in a very difficult situation. What was his difficulty? Yeah, he was not suffering at all, right? He was not suffering. He was enjoying. He was not suffering. He was enjoying his good position. He had everything. So therefore it took a little bit, to like unsettle him from his comfort.
comfort zone.
Yeah, it really took a lot of... yes. Very, very difficult, right? Yeah. Text 83. All right, so you can come some. Yes, and just take the numbers. On Sundays I have classes for girls. All right. 83. Text 83. Etad adhyatma paroksham Geetam devarshina Ya shravayet ya shrinuyat Sallingena vimuchyate. Okay, who wants to read now? Huh? So just be careful with this thread. Alright. Hare Krishna.
Translation. My dear Vidura, one who hears this narration. My dear Vidura, one who hears this narration concerning the understanding of the living entity's spiritual existence as described by the great sage Narada, or who relates it to others, will be liberated from the bodily conception of life. Purport. This material creation is the spirit soul's dream. Actually, all existence in the material world is a dream of Mahavishnu, as the Brahma Samhita describes. Yah karanannarva jale vyajati samayoga nidram ananta jagat anda sarokama kupaha. This material world is created by the dreaming of the Mahavishnu. The real factual platform is the spiritual world. But when the spiritual soul wants to imitate the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is put into this dreamland of material creation. After being in contact with the material molds of nature, the living entity develops the subtle and gross bodies. When the living entity is fortunate enough to associate with Sri Narada Mahamuni or his servants, he is liberated from this dreamland of material creation and the bodily conceptions of life.
So you feel nice that you're in dreamland? Right now we are in dreamland. The material creation is what? What is it? What is it? Yeah. This material creation, the spirit soul's dream. Alright? Is it the dream of the body or the subtle body? No. No.
Yes, spirit soul, they are mentioning Mahavishnu or individual soul?
Individual
But
soul.
next time it is mentioned that it is a dream of Mahavishnu.
Actually, first thing it is the dream of the spirit soul. Meaning the spirit soul is what? It is a dream. What is it? What's the state of the spirit? Sleeping. Yeah, meaning the spirit soul is sleeping. Alright, he's sleeping. And then he is dreaming. In his dream, that spirit soul is seeing the entire material creation, whatever he's created for himself. Alright? And this is facilitated by Mahavishnu. You get it? Yes. So that's why Jeev Jagu. Right? Alright? Jeev Jagu. Wake up. Right? You think you're a man, you're a woman. You think you're a dog, you're a hog, you're a cow, you're a monkey. Right? You think you're Indian, you're Chinese, you're from Taiwan, you're from Ukraine, you're from Russia, you're from God knows where. Right? Oh, dream, and just see what we are doing in this dreamland. Right? It's horrible, right? The spirit soul is dreaming. The real factual platform is the spiritual world. So why is he dreaming? What is his problem? Why does he has to dream like this?
He has desires. He wants to become imitate.
Yeah, he wants to and what is the specific thing that he wants to imitate?
Lord.
Yes, he wants to be the Purush. This Jeev, who by nature is Prakriti, wants to be the Purush. Alright? So Mahavishnu allows him to have the illusion of being a Purusha. So therefore, Kono Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. Then he can wake up from this dreamland of material creation. That's why it's destroyed. Right? Dream, everybody knows. Dream doesn't last. You wake up and then the next dream starts. Right?
So we had a dream of enjoying. So Krishna came as Parvatashya, Shri.
Yes. Yes, he's facilitating us. So that's why Mahavishnu is in Yoga Nidra. right? He's in Yog Nidra and he carries us with him. He facilitates that Jiva. Somewhere we just read of Jiva Bhuta and Brahma Bhuta. Last verse. Huh? So, where is it? In the material state, the living entities on the Jiva Bhuta platform. The previous verse. Jiva Bhuta, meaning he's the dreaming state. Right? That's when we say, is he Jivit? Is he alive? Right? Jivit? Right? Meaning, by default, he's dead. The material body is dead by default. Right? So the Atma goes in, then it becomes Jivit. Right? But when he renders devotional service to the Lord, he is elevated to the Brahma Bhuta platform. On the Brahma Bhuta platform, the living entity is liberated from material bondage and he engages in the service of the Lord. So long as we have no interest to engage in devotional service, it means that we are Jiva Bhuta. The more we are ready to serve Krishna, the more we are on the Brahma Bhuta. What is this Brahma? What is that Brahma Bhuta? Yeah, Aham Brahmasmi. I am spirit soul. Alright? Okay, text 84. Etan mukunda yashasa bhuvanam punanam Deva Shivarya Mukhanishritam Atmashocham Yaketyamanam Adhigachati Paramamestyam Nasmin Bhave Brahmati Mukta Samasta Bandhaha.
Translation. This narration spoken by the great sage Narada is full of transcendental fame of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Consequently, this narration, when described, certainly sanctifies this material world. It purifies the heart of the living entity and helps him attain his spiritual identity. One who relates this transcendental narration will be liberated from all material bondage and will no longer have to wander within this material world. Purport. As indicated in verse 79, Narad Muni advised King Prachinabarhi to take to the devotional service rather than waste time performing ritualistic ceremonies and fruitive activities. The vivid descriptions of the subtle and gross bodies in this chapter are most scientific, and because they are given by the great sage Narada, they are authoritative. Because these narrations are full of the glory of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they constitute the most effective process for the purification of mind. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu confirmed, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, the more we talk of Krishna, think of Krishna, and preach of Krishna, the more we become purified. This means we no longer have to accept a hallucinatory, gross and subtle body, but instead gain our spiritual identity. One who tries to understand this instructive spiritual knowledge is delivered from this ocean of nescience. The word Parameshthayam is very significant in this connection. Parameshthayam is also called Brahmaloka. It is the planet on which Lord Brahma lives. The inhabitants of Brahmaloka always discuss such narrations so that after the annihilation of the material world, they can be directly transferred to the spiritual world. One who is transferred to the spiritual world does not have to go up and down within this material world. Sometimes spiritual activities are so called Parameshthayam.
Now, a few things here. So, first thing that the vivid descriptions of the subtle and gross bodies in this chapter are most scientific. Most scientific. All right, not imagination. all right, not invented. And because they are given by the great sage Narada, they are also authoritative. All right. And these narrations also contain what? Glory of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And therefore, yes. How does it purify the mind? How? How?
The more we talk of Krishna, by learning all this, we purify our desires, sinful thoughts, we learn how to let go.
Yes.
We learn how to always think of Krishna.
Yes. This is the science, all right? Meaning that we wake up. You say, what am I doing? I wasn't aware. All right? So I myself take the decision what to do. Like the king, finally he took the decision what he will do. He heard, put it in his ear. Heard, and he started to wake up. Then he decided what he wants to do.
I mean, that was the time when Ashtanga Yoga was a process, so he went to Kapila Ashram to perform austerities.
Well, what we heard here, having undergone austerities and penances at Kapila Ashram, King Prachinabar, he attained full liberation from all material designations. Alright? He constantly engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Yeah. Whatever he did, whatever we are doing, eating less, sleeping less, right? No going to movies and cinema, right? Basically, that's the whole thing.
Then he left everything and he went to a secluded place.
Yes.
Kind of Ashtanga Yoga type, through the process of Ashtanga Yoga, he did.
It's not mentioned here. We saw with Prithu Maharaj and Dhruva Maharaj that they did the Ashtanga Yoga. Here it's not mentioned what he did, but what's mentioned that he worshipped the Lord. All right. But what are those austerities and penances? To begin with, he stopped his Ashwamedha Yagya, whatever Yagya he was doing, he stopped. That was the first austerity for him. See, austerity for different people means different thing. Right? If somebody is used to eating 4-5 times in a day, for him to eat only 2-3 times a day and less quantity is an austerity, right? Right? I'm used to sleeping 8-9 hours, to say sleep 6-7 hours, that's an austerity, right? Don't watch a movie, that's an austerity, right? Don't go and eat from every restaurant, that is an austerity. Sorry? His penances was fasting, right? His parikrama.
Staying in that ashram itself would be a penance for the king who left everything and went to an ashram to stay. That's a big
Yes, definitely. Oh, where are we? I'm lost. Yeah. So, yeah, one who tries. Yes. So the more we talk of Krishna, think of Krishna, and preach for Krishna, the more we become purified. All right. So here's again the direct instruction. This means we no longer have to accept a hallucinatory, gross, and subtle body. What is the meaning of hallucinatory?
Something which is not there.
Yes, remember the dream?
hallucination is basically imagining something which is not.
You imagine you're somebody's wife. All right. Or somebody's mother. Somebody's boss. right? You are giving orders to others, right? The one who tries to understand this instructive spiritual knowledge is delivered from this ocean of nescience. So in Brahmalok, they're always discussing about this. All right? They're always discussing this section about how you're not the body, this, the illusion, the dream. So why? See, here Prabhupada is saying that why they're discussing. Tell me, why are they discussing in Brahmalok?
After annihilation, they can be directly transferred to the spiritual. They don't have to come down.
Why they won't come down? Very important, okay? This is the test of everything we studied.
They're a lot of opulence, but they are having a restricted life, talking about the law, doing whatever as we talk about. They don't want the time. So they will not indulge in too much of too much of.
You know, Brahmalok is it's the planet of tapasya, is it? It's where everybody is sitting and doing tapasya. Brahmalok.
Brahmalok is
Highest planet in the Choda.
Swarga you enjoy. Because for the soul to take the leap out of the body is not a joke. Because the soul wants to cling to the body and he wants his next body also. So when he's reading, hearing again and again the story of Puranjana, what you are, how in each and every body you have to go through this growth, birth, death, disease, old age. Remember how he was pulled out of the body? Right? You already have one program in one body. Now you are ready for another body, right? And the same program will go on. Just only different environment, different phases.
In Brahmalok, the lifespan must be very, very long. So if they are stuck in that body, it's not like.
Never mind. Never mind. There are whatever millions of years, but the soul doesn't want to go. The soul actually doesn't want to. So by hearing, they're able to leave the body. That's why when people are on deathbed, what do?
We chant, we give Harinam and Tulsi.
And you read Bhagavad Gita. Why? Yes. Yeah. So that the soul will leave the body. Soul doesn't want to go. And here, this is not just leaving the body for another body. This is leaving the body altogether. Gross and subtle body both. You want to remove both gross and subtle bodies. Not a joke. As it is, the ignorant want to cling to the gross body. Right? Others, they want to cling to the subtle body. Because they are more elevated, right? So they don't have a gross body like ours. They have more subtle body. The higher you go beyond Swarga Lok, your body becomes more and more subtle.
More lighter.
Right? So here, yes, yeah. Like Brahma means big brain, right? 4 heads. The inhabitants of Brahmalok always discuss such narrations so that after the annihilation of the material world, now where will they live? Material world itself is gone. Right? They can be directly transferred to the spiritual world. Otherwise, they will again go in the belly of Mahavishnu and sit and wait there when my next body will come. You follow?
Yes.
See how attachment is? Even being Brahma, if you don't hear.
I'm more attached, because he's in that body for so many years.
Now it's clear.
Sorry?
Here it's a dream.
Yeah, but the soul. So therefore.
It's clear only for this moment. After
More dreams, we'll forget everything.
so
More as you see.
constant hearing is very.
Yeah, okay, last. Then we are finished with this. No, this is the last verse. Adhyatma parokshamiram mayadhigatam adbhutam evam striyashrama pumsas chinno mutra cha samshayah.
Translation. The allegory of King Puranjan, described herein, according to authority, was heard by me from my spiritual master, and it is full of spiritual knowledge. If one can understand the purpose of this allegory, he will certainly be relieved from the bodily conception and will clearly understand life after death. Although one may not understand what transmigration of the soul actually is, one can fully understand it by studying this narration. Purport. The word striya, meaning along with the wife, is significant. The male and female living together constitute the sum and substance of material existence. The attraction between male and female in this material world is very strong. In all species of life, the attraction between male and female is the basic principle of existence. The same principle of intermingling is also in the human society, but is in a regulative form. Material existence means living together as male and female and being attracted by one another. However, when one fully understands the spiritual life, his attraction for the opposite sex is completely vanquished. By such attraction, one becomes overly attached to this material world. It is a heart knot within the heart. Pumsa striya mithuni bhavam etam. Tayor mitho hridaya grantim ahu. Ato graha kshetra sutapta viter janasya moho yam aham mameti. Bhagavatam 5.5.8. Everyone comes to this material world attracted to sense gratification, and the heart knot of sense gratification is the attraction between male and female. By this attraction, one becomes overly attached to the material world in the terms of griha kshetra suta aptavita, that is home, land, children, friend, money, and so forth. However, if one understands the story of King Puranjana and understands how by sexual attraction Puranjana became a female in his next life, one will also understand the process of transmigration. Special note, according to Vidyadvaja Tirtha, who belongs to the Madhavacharya Sampradaya, the first two of the following verses appear after the verse 45 of this chapter, and the remaining two verses appear after verse 79.
So we'll read that next week. These two verses, then we start the next
What
chapter.
is the special Mount Madhya?
Oh, so yeah. Anyway, next week we'll discuss. Yeah. So these two verses, text 1a, 2a, and 1b. That we'll read next week. Anyway, so this is the conclusion here. So, what is the binding knot in this material? Yes. So this is male and female. So this exists in all existence, right? All species. This is what binds. That's how the species continues, right? So here, the instruction is that the same attraction is there, but it is in a regulated way. But at the end of the day, it has to be cut. All right, it has to be cut. And that's what the king finally did, right? He didn't want to cut that knot. But Narad Muni came and told him, you're preparing for your next birth. Do you want the next birth? Right? To the story of King Puranjan. Yes, so that was definitely a super instruction, right? We didn't know what we were getting into, right? When we started this whole section. All right, so thank you very much. Chanting the song of Lord Shiva, then it's amazing how this Bhagavatam, you go on reading and you say, oh, I never read it, right?